Have you ever wondered what the most meaningful and significant thing in your flat, garden, or even life is? Hello, my name is David and I want to share a story with you. For about 5 years I struggled with finding satisfaction in everyday life, largely due to the three specific factors: post-pandemic and wartime challenges, the second, a deep need for appreciation, and the third and last one, my personal struggle with consumerism. The pandemic was incredibly impactful, unlike anything else in my life. Then came the war in Ukraine right after the lockdown. It was a mental breakdown for many of us, not to mention the people directly affected by war. After such tough experiences, we often need to help to shift our mindset for a while to get back on track. As I mentioned before, the second and third factors are a little bit different, but still highly impactful. For years, maybe even entire life, I was addicted to seeking approval from others and buying too much. And what do I mean by that? I was always doing things for others and buying stuff not just for myself but to impress others. It had to be good enough to earn applause or appreciation from my colleagues or family every single time. Otherwise, I was disappointed and felt my efforts weren't good enough. It was a trap. This habit was destroying my life for years, and I wasn't even aware of it. So you may ask, what did I do to understand that and how did it go? To be honest, it took many months of talking with my therapist and doing some kind of homeworks. The first stage of entire journey involved research, the second a change in our own opinions, thoughts and even behaviors. Mainly about ourselves, not others. Why? Because what others think and do is beyond our control. Simple. The common problem for everyone is always the lack of time to work on these things or to get used to being with them every single day, making them a habit. I guess 99.9% of people complain that they don't have enough time to work on their habits and treat them well, actually. Then consumerism. It's also a trap because marketing and sales are extremely aggressive these days. They are screaming at you to buy the latest phone, car, gadget, whatever. Once you are in, it's hard to get out and it's tough again. Every time you buy something outstanding, you feel endorphins in your body, excitement, you feel like, oh, I'm in the club. And this feeling is definitely addictive, right? And making things even harder to handle. The reason why we do that is simple: low self-confidence. You try to earn extra points for your social cycle by having something extraordinary. The problem is that you will never be truly happy. Your life is based on comparing yourself to others, and there will always be someone better, happier, wealthier, so you'll never be fully satisfied or relaxed. That's harsh, isn't it? Solving this problem isn't too difficult though. Weeks of analysis and reflection changed my perspective on regular life. I just needed to sort things out and become more proactive in analyzing problems and managing solutions every day. One of the most important and effective steps is therapy, of course, which constantly shows us where the problems lie and why we need to work on them. Basically, you can do whatever you need to be happy. It doesn't have to be anything spectacular. The only requirement is that it has to be for yourself, not others. You need to focus on you and your needs and pleasures as a human being. But what exactly is a need? It can be totally different for each person or even the same person from one day to the next. For example, your needs differ when the weather is cold compared to when it's hot. They might also vary depending on whether you are super happy or sad. In my case, I wasn't paying attention to my needs. I was focused on others, on my work, how I could earn more money or land a bigger gig. Why should I care about myself? It was harmful because many of my actions were based on things that I couldn't influence, right? And the real need or pleasure might be to read a book, enjoy a special coffee, play with a dog or even pet a cat. The most important thing is to be honest with yourself, recognize your needs and find time to care for them every day. To make it happen, start by noticing what makes your day special and write it down. Why? I guarantee you will overlook everything, especially during the thinking phase when downtime hits you. It's really tough to break through and do something pleasing for yourself once you are down. So having a pre-prepared list of small things you love is essential. That's why it's an art. The interesting part is that we should do at least 2 things for ourselves every day. So it's not just a list for bad days, right? It's for every day with extra activities for those tougher days as well. And what do I mean by that? Basically, when you have a bad day, you need to increase your dose. So choose 4 activities instead of 2 to feel better afterwards, right? It's important to don't expect to be extremely happy or even expect that your day will change drastically within 1 hour. No, it's a one step toward the normal state, not a radical change. So after you've done those 4 things for yourself, you should feel better. However, you need to remember that if you don't do them, you are likely to feel much worse than when you were feeling down, right? Because it's something for you. Now try to imagine those 4 pleasurable things for yourself when you don't have those small things on your list. I guess you might think it's actually not possible to go to the cinema, eat out at a restaurant, play on the PlayStation and run in the mountains all in one day after work. That's right, it sounds like an unfeasible plan, because how would it be possible to do all those things after work when you have only 1 or 2 hours free? The art of noticing requires some deep thinking, to be honest. You need to think about your surroundings and your needs while staying at the same place, body and environment as always. It has to be a remedy for your mind and body, even if you don't have money, time or nice weather outside. The art of noticing has changed me, really. I'm in a better mental shape, no longer need social appreciation as I did before, and I don't buy things to impress others. I now consider what I really need and what makes sense for myself. I ask myself, does this move me towards my main goal? Does this thing or action bring any value? Am I getting it truly for myself? The answers help you to choose the right option for yourself. So the last thing you need to remember, this has to be your best friend until the end of your life. You need to take care about this, about yourself, because this is the part of the game. And keep it simple, as they said.